Infamous for what he's accused of posting on Facebook, Derek Medina can now be seen on camera in his home, moments before police say he murdered his wife and before a photo of her dead body was posted.
Derek Medina wrote, "I'm going to prison or death sentence for killing my wife. Love you guys. Miss you guys. Take care, Facebook people. You will see me in the news."
Did the Facebook killer just snap? That's our bold question number 2 for our jury. A verdict by the end of the program. Right now, we're inside the HLNTV.com evidence room. After Dark prosecution on this side and the After Dark defense on the other side. Another murder confession on social media, this one on Facebook, and the surveillance video. Crucial evidence that came out today. Let's take another look at that evidence.
Jennifer Alfonso is in the kitchen. She picks up a bottle of dishwashing detergent. She won't leave this room alive. The man walking in is her husband, Derek Medina. The video, obtained by the Miami Herald, is silent. Alfonso is now out of frame, and Medina's back is to the camera. You can see just the top of his head. At one point, he walks out and steps back in. It appears he and Alfonso are exchanging words. Medina leaves the kitchen, walks down the hall, and then returns. You can't see it, but authorities say he has a gun. Alfonso probably has no idea she is taking her last breaths. In a matter of seconds, she'll be dead. Both Alfonso and Medina are off camera now. Police say Medina has told them his wife picked up a knife when he pointed the gun at her. Suddenly, there's a shower of what appears to be flakes, the aftermath of the gunshots. That part of the video is chilling. It gets worse. This is where Medina calmly, in no rush, walks out, perhaps to get his camera phone, comes back to the entrance of the kitchen, and appears to take the picture of his dead wife he admits he posted on Facebook. Take a look at it one more time. Medina is holding something in his hands, likely the camera phone, as he walks to the kitchen entrance and stands there. As he leaves, he puts what looks like a phone in his pocket. There is never any rush, no sense of urgency to get out of the house. Medina coolly puts on his shirt. A second camera trained on the front door shows him putting on a jacket and baseball cap, walking out, shutting the door behind him.
From my perspective, demeanor speaks volumes here, the demeanor. And going to get the gun, you have to take time to do that, to think about, all right, I'm going to get the gun. I'm planning to shoot her and kill her.
And he didn't even announce it. He walked and got the gun, came back in there and confronted her, and which negates his concept that she had a knife, which, by the way, in that still photo, there's no knife by the body.
You can't hear anything, though, and it looked like earlier that they were having a fight. You could see their heads going back and forth. It looked like they were in some type of a fight, and we've got evidence from her journal that they were combative. I mean, they had a history, and it sounds like she had a history of violence against him as well. So it's completely
But where's that violence at that moment? Where is the snapping? Where is him out of control? I don't see it.
Where's the
because
wrestling?
we don't see anything that goes on in the kitchen. All we see is the top of his head going back into the kitchen. We don't know what happened, and the tape skips by a couple minutes. It's not exactly in real time. I mean, it's not second by second. It skips for a couple minutes. And so we don't know what happened. I mean, there's going to be a lot of explaining to do by both the state and the defense to try to put in their version of events.
And Vinny, let me just jump in real quick, because one of our jurors has a good point about this surveillance video. Christopher, you have a question about this.
Well, my question was, why was there cameras on the kitchen? Who puts a camera on their kitchen? And so it appears to me that it was perhaps staged. He knew that she would get violent or throw dishes or so he could prove his point of her being violent, but I think it was staged.
So there are a couple of people from the jury that were wondering, why would there be surveillance video inside the house?
Well, you know, the surveillance videos inside the house are one aspect of the disturbing nature of this relationship, but I think what's also important is what you don't see is them struggling in that video. You don't see any back and forth, any wrestling. You see none of that. All you see is a man going in and executing his wife.
And the part about the security video, he worked in security, so we don't have proof of it, but my guess is you work in security, he's kind of cognizant of it. He puts up the security cameras himself to have inside his home. And you also see it towards the exit and the entrance to the home as well.
I think that security cameras are a good point, though, because if it was premeditated, he would have turned them off. This had to have been heat of passion. He had to have snapped, or else if he put those cameras up, he would have turned them off. Why would he ever have let his crime be videoed?
And there's no doubt he did it. I mean, we're not talking about a whodunit. He did it. He wrote it on Facebook. He took pictures. We have the surveillance. It's a question of did he snap or not. And so it seems to me by his kind of calm demeanor that he's in some type of state, that he's not acting rationally. He left a child
I would say a state of planning and acting out on a plan. Laura, go ahead.
That's why I said inconclusive, because the problem is, we have that saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And we see this picture, and as disturbing and as disgusting as it is, at the same time, it's inconclusive. It's worth one word. It's death, and we're watching it. We see it, but we don't know how it happened. It tells us nothing. And what I'm hoping is that there's some forensics evidence, some physical evidence that maybe her body can show. Was there a struggle? Was there anything happening before this time that would either prove or disprove what he's saying?
All right, next we're going to take you inside the mind of an insane woman. This is the diary of the victim. Take a listen to part of that as read by our producer.
After little situations that me and Derek have been through, I find myself uncontrollably jealous, like want to murder type deal. And I wanted to rip his eyes right out of the socket. Disrespect. All I know is I've worked all night and I can't sleep thinking about my unhappy husband and zombies and the world coming to its demise. Crazy mixture of right? Ugh, the future. Awesome. Gadgets and eating people. I've always believed in zombies and stuff. Let's see how many others will have human on the menu.
Can we have a quick reality check for a moment? In order to believe that this woman was the aggressor and attacked him with a knife, you've got to take the word of a man whose best judgment was to take a photograph of his dead wife and put it on Facebook? Felony stupid. 2 scoops of crazy.
How dare we, just because this woman may have been dealing with some serious mental issues, assume that she in any way contributed to or caused her own death by provoking or snapping on her husband? That's ridiculous, and there's no evidence of it.